brainstorming and sharing ideas is the funnest part of the creative process, we decided to skip the boring part of actually making stuff and just do the fun part. I'm your host, Tom Walma.
Kevin Kelly.
Justin Chupp.
Ken Carlson.
And this is Creativity Wasted. I like to buy things that are on sale, even if I don't need them, to try to save money. Like, that's pretty normal, I think. So recently I bought a bunch of toilet paper that was on sale, and it didn't fit like in the closet where I would normally store it. I had too much. So I put one like in the bathroom, in the main area of the bathroom, like in front of the toilet, like a 12-pack, 16-pack of toilet paper. And it wasn't so in the way that it was a total annoyance, but it was like sitting sort of in front of the toilet against the wall. And I started using it as a coffee table while I sat on the toilet. And that got me thinking, why don't we have coffee tables in bathrooms? Like, it seems pretty useful. Like, I mean, most people probably at this point use the cell phone when they're on the toilet. So it could be a place to put a cell phone, be a place to put a
feet.
Or your feet.
Yeah. I
didn't even think of that. Well, that might be a little awkward to have your feet sticking straight out when you're sitting on the toilet.
It's an ottoman. Yeah.
More bathroom furniture.
Unless you've got a reclining toilet.
Yeah.
A desk. Yeah.
So yeah, if you go with the coffee table idea, so it's better than putting like your phone on the sink, the bathroom sink, and like where it might get wet.
Right.
Because it's always wet, bathroom sinks. I don't know where all the water comes from. It seems like it's always wet. And like some people will have like maybe a magazine thing on the wall, or like I've seen that. I think my mom had one for a while. But then you've got to close the magazine when you're done to put it over there, like to finish using the toilet. And it's like, well, if you had a coffee table, you could just set it down there like already open. So it'd save a little bit of effort there. And it wouldn't get wet like from putting it on the sink. Like one thing my mom used to do, she'd put a bunch of magazines on next to the toilet. She had a dirty clothes bin. So every time she had to throw clothes in the dirty clothes bin, she'd have to pick up the magazines, open it, put the clothes in. I don't know how she didn't get annoyed by that. She had a coffee table. She could just stick them on the coffee table. I don't know. I think it'd be useful to have a coffee table in the bathroom.
Are you envisioning like having a spread of magazines and books on the coffee table for when company comes into the bathroom?
Well, it'd probably be for like the not the guest bathroom, but I don't know. You could, I suppose. I mean, I didn't know if do you think people would judge you? Would they think it's gross to have a coffee table in a bathroom? I mean, I don't see why we all have to lie and pretend we don't use our cell phones when we're on the toilet, but just if they see it there, they're thinking, oh, everything there might have poop germs on it. Like they might start thinking about poop just because it's not what they're used to in the bathroom. So now they're associating you and your house with this poop table. I don't know. Do you think it would be like socially stigmatizing to have a bathroom coffee table?
I would judge somebody who had that, yes.
Yeah.
Personally.
Darn.
I'm not saying it's a bad idea. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying personally, I would think about poop and pages that were being flipped.
But see, go
ahead. And the serving of coffee in there. Yeah.
Would you gossip about the person who had the coffee table in the bathroom?
I would definitely tell people about it. 100%. That's not an experience I'm taking home with me and keeping to myself.
Go ahead, Kevin.
So anyway, here's my idea. This, like when do people do their business? Usually in the mornings. Why not just kind of make this a thing? So have the box of Lucky Charms, have the bowl there, have a little mini fridge, little coffee maker. Let's just do it up and kind of refill as we empty out. I mean,
Why
like,
not just bring the toilet out to the living room?
or the kitchen.
There
Come
you
on.
go.
Yeah.
Multiple toilets in the living room, so when people come together, they can poop together in the living
Hell
room.
yeah,
There you
dude.
go.
Well, I mean, I don't have kids. I've heard that people sometimes who have kids, they sort of view the bathroom as like their privacy spot, like where they can sort of relax. So in that case, having a mini fridge and the whole shebang, like basically a room that you can hide in for an hour and a half away from your kids.
Yeah.
Maybe. I was thinking just the coffee table that you can put stuff on.
Yeah.
But maybe people would want to go all out. Maybe a phone charger, something,
TV.
TV.
It would be cool to have like at least a USB plug on the side of your toilet.
I have seen them on like toilet paper holders, but that's
Really?
just goofy, like Sky Mall shit. I don't know if anybody's ever actually bought it. I guess my idea is also Sky Mall shit. So yeah, then I got to thinking like, how big would the coffee table be? Could you maybe make it adjustable size, like to fit? Because some people have really small bathrooms. You don't want to have it get in your way, like block your way for getting to the shower or the sink or the toilet. And so then I thought maybe you could attach it to the wall and fold down so you'd have a bunch of different size things.
Right.
And then I got to thinking about toilets have the built-in lid, like solid lid that folds on top of the toilet seat. Like, why not just, instead of having the lid, just have a spot where you can have a rectangular thing with legs that fold out. So you can just pop it off, stick it in front of the toilet, fold the legs out. So you have your coffee table. And then when you're done, if you want to have a lid, first of all, I never take the lid all the way down, like to hide my poop. Like, who does that? Like, is that really a useful thing that people take the lid down in everyday life that often?
I think it's supposed to be for like, so you're not splashing stuff all around your bathroom. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Like when you flush,
Yeah.
so the water doesn't spritz out?
Doesn't get on your toothbrush or whatever. Yeah.
I don't know. So do you pull the lid down every time you flush?
Personally, I do. Yes.
Huh. I've never
Because I
even...
heard some, not, and I don't want to sound like some like pure hygiene. Like, this is just something I heard someone say on the radio one day, and I was like, "Fuck, that's disgusting." And then I started putting the lid down. So it wasn't
Yeah.
something I always did. It's just I heard somebody say something about you got to put the lid down. Somebody had an apartment where they didn't have a lid on their toilet seat, and then there was a whole debate about if that's even like acceptable, because that might be really like bad.
Well, no public ones
Gross.
have it.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyway, you could put the coffee table back on, put it down. It wouldn't be toilet shaped. It would be rectangular, like about the width of the toilet tank, probably. So you'd fold. Would it be weird to have a toilet lid that's as wide as the tank? So when you put it down, it's like a bench seat instead of a toilet shaped thing.
I think that works.
It
I think
works.
it'd be fine.
You could take it off the back, like if it covers the toilet tank, you could take that thing off. And it's like your little, like, you know, those little things they give you, they serve you breakfast in bed in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now you're heading towards like an Eastern European thing where there's like, a series of troughs or benches and holes. And then it's just,
Too complicated?
Yeah.
Well, I guess it depends. It might be too simple. I mean, it depends how many people you want to get involved in this at one time. Are you envisioning just a single bathroom like normal, or are you like
A
envisioning
normal
more for more
bathroom,
people?
the toilet is special made to have a removable toilet lid that doubles up as a coffee table, so you can quickly pop it off, stick it in front of the toilet, fold the legs out, and if you so choose, you can just leave it there forever if it's not like in the way and you use it a lot and you don't need the lid. If you're not a worried about the backsplash germ of whatever on your toothbrush, or you can take it back and forth, or like if you happen to want to read something one day but not every day, that's the day you pop it off and stick it in front of it. So it'd be like the idea becomes like a toilet coffee table combo thing. So that's basically the idea. And then I thought, well, maybe also, well, you could just use the lid, like I'm saying, as the coffee table, or you could just have both built into the toilet. Like maybe behind the toilet tank, you have a flat gap where you can store the coffee table with the legs folded and just lift it out and stick it in front of the toilet. The other thing you could do, the top of the toilet tank is like this big slab of like 15-pound ceramic toilet tank cover. Why do those need to be so damn heavy? And like it's not like it needs to be that heavy to hold the poop smell or something. You could make it lighter for one thing, easier to remove, and make it out of something that doesn't feel like it's going to break if it drops on the floor, and make it so you could like take it off and use that, have legs that pop out, or you could have just a thinner toilet tank cover where the coffee table can just sort of affix on top of it when you're not using it. So you could store it on top of the toilet tank or behind the toilet tank, depending on how you designed it. There's plenty.
So in your medicine cabinet, would you store coffee and mugs and things like that? And are you actually going to have coffee on the coffee table in the bathroom?
Yeah, I mean, I see your point. You don't need to call it a coffee table. It's like a table in front of where you're sitting, so I called it a coffee table. But
you kind of think, like, instead of hearing the toilet flush, you hear someone grinding beans in there.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in the morning it makes sense because you're having your morning cup of coffee. You could do it while you're on the toilet. In that case, it's a coffee table. I don't see a need to make the coffee in the bathroom. But one can do as they see fit, I guess. Could fit a little Keurig machine in a big bathroom, I suppose. But so yeah, that's the idea, is a toilet that's built in some way to have like a detachable coffee table that you can stick in front of the toilet to use while you're pooping.
I could see it being automated where, maybe it's that lid on the back tank. You press a button because you're going to do your business. You wouldn't need it if you're just peeing or something. And then it would open up and an arm would come out and it would like
Inspector
set up
Gadget
for you. So you don't even have to touch anything. It would just be push button operated. That'd be the high-tech version.
But so with this clever invention idea, as opposed to just normal coffee table, would the gossip change? Would it be, this isn't gross anymore, this is clever? He has a special toilet that has a removable table. That's not gross. That's interesting. Or would it still be gross?
I think it might be called the poop table, unfortunately.
The poop table. Sticking your phone on the poop table. Poop deck. Yeah, I didn't think of a name for it. Just
you got to have a name, like coffee table is the name to use, because otherwise it's going to so easily go somewhere else.
The toilet mate, like it's part of the toilet. It's like, oh, that's the toilet table. Yeah, of course. It's just like that's what you have, a toilet table. If you call it a coffee table, I just think of a coffee table. You serve coffee on the coffee table, which makes it weird in the one-person bathroom. So if it's a toilet table, well, that is the table that goes to the toilet, and that's where you put your stuff. Yeah. I
think if you could name it after the bathroom and not the toilet, even though it is part of the toilet, I think that would be better.
Yeah. And if it were not attached to, depending on the spacing of the wall, kind of like that Murphy bed idea you had, that comes off of the wall and flops down.
Mm-hmm.
not being attached to the toilet gets away from a little bit of that stigma, perhaps.
Yeah,
Why don't you
I suppose you could.
give it a foreign name? Like, make people believe, like, oh, they do this in Germany and Finland all the time. Oh yeah, it's the Skorza. Yeah, I just got this from
That would
IKEA.
work
It's the Skorza.
probably.
Oh yeah, there you go. That perfect. You don't
That's
have
the
one?
best
Oh my
approach.
god. Yeah. What are you doing? Yeah.
What were you saying, Justin?
No, I think that's the best approach for sure. Some
Yeah.
fancy,
Yeah.
yeah. And then you can like portray it like they're stupid for not knowing what it is.
Like the squatty potty. If they can convince people to buy the squatty potty, why not the poop table, the Skorza?
Skorza.
So my thought, yeah, you could get one that mounts on the wall, but then it's like everybody has, like, the tank size is pretty standardized, right?
That's true.
So you could either, well, if it had to go behind the toilet or replace the lid of the toilet, you'd need this whole special new toilet for that purpose. Maybe you could attach the toilet lid, take off the lid and screw on with the two screws. I don't know, is it two screws in the back that mount the lid to the toilet? Maybe you could put something on that without buying a whole new toilet. But the tank lids are always about the same size, right? You could sell something that just replaces the tank lid. It wouldn't matter how big their bathroom is. It wouldn't matter if they've got room to mount it on the wall. It's like standardized. Everybody could buy this thing. Everybody can buy the squatty potty. Everybody can buy the Skorza that replaces the tank lid. They'd have to find somewhere to put the old tank lid. But other than that, it's like doesn't require renovating the bathroom at all. It just, you buy it and put it on there. It's done. Suppose you could build one that fits on the normal tank lid, but that's like slippery porcelain that might not stay on there. It might block the handle. You might run into problems. So I say just get rid of the ridiculously heavy toilet tank lid. Shove it in the garage or something. Any more thoughts? So, would any of you consider buying it? The Skorza?
No.
I don't think so.
Damn.
You know, our sink area is right next to the toilet, so if I do bring a cup of coffee in, I just set it right there. That's where I set it. So the functionality of what you're talking about, I already have.
You can set a coffee cup on a wet sink. I guess it's fine. Yeah, you don't want to set the phone on the wet sink or
Correct.
a magazine on the wet sink.
Yeah, so we have a countertop next to our sink with plenty of space, but not every bathroom is set up that way. So if it's just one of those pedestal sinks, what I'm talking about doesn't work, and your solution is brilliant.
All right. I got one compliment. I'll call it good. Okay. Any shows or podcasts or social medias or anything you guys want to promote?
We have a show at the Bold Cigar Bar. We've got a show on January 15th, January 29th.
I'm producing and hosting a showcase at Fort Wayne Comedy Club February 7th. Should be a lot of fun. Week before Valentine's Day. Good time for comedy.
Every Sunday at Mulligan's in Grand Rapids, we do Spicy, the open mic. I also host a monthly showcase at the Peaks Event Center in Big Rapids. There'll be more stuff to come.
I'm performing in Ambrosia Theater this coming Saturday, January 17th, I think. Yeah.
It's a beautiful room.
And then I have my fitness thing called Gaming McFitness, where I build video game controllers into fitness machines, and then I play video games on like Twitch. So there's one kind of behind me there. That's the handles of the treadmill with the game controller and all the wires and shit.
This has been a production of Planet Amp Podcast, powered by Pinecast.